I don't know.
There's
Maybe.
just something so inauthentic about Shannon for me, and she's always like, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about Jan. We're not going to talk about John Janssen. We're not doing it.
But
It's
I
like,
think, you don't think that's real? I think she's like that. I think she's really like that.
well, no, I think it is, but you can't tell us we can't talk about something on the
Oh,
show.
well,
Like,
that's
this is
true.
your
Yeah, she's
life. Like,
unreasonable. But I
yeah.
think that shit is real. Like, I really think that she doesn't think through. She reacts. She is really like just reacts in the moment, and consequences be damned.
How lucky was Gina though that Shannon got that DUI and she gets another fucking season? I can't like. I don't want to go back in that townhouse again. I
Talk about
don't want to
poor
see those kids.
housewives. I
What?
mean,
Yeah, that's a yeah.
she's a poor housewife.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah, listen, I'm more excited about the OC for like a minute. I'm not sure this is going to carry a whole season. Like, it'll take 2 seconds to see like Shannon fighting with Tamara. Vicky will be there, whatever. I don't know if we have a whole season about this. Like with Alexis, it's like, I'm not as excited as it. I'm a little bit
I'm
excited about
excited.
the
I'm
OC.
excited. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a good season. I think there's a lot. I think the John Janssen and Alexis are playing it out in the court of public opinion on social media. There's lawsuits. They already said the other day that they were at an engagement, and the next engagement might be ours. I don't know if you saw that.
But
Alexis is going to fall flat. I mean, look, I hope it all works out, but she is saying things like my forever. But here's what I noticed. I don't know. We have to go scrub in. John is smiling in like every picture with
I've never
Alexis.
seen him like that. He is
I
so happy
know.
with her. He is so like I've actually envisioned them having sex and
Yeah.
him going like that shit's happening. She's
They
like
would
sitting up
be.
on top of him, and those perfect boobs are going, and he's going like he just can't get enough of her. I do see that. Do you see that, Ace?
no, I think that he's so excited to like have his name everywhere. I think he's just like, oh, look at us. We came in and we're gonna fuck this whole season up, and they thought they were gonna get rid of me, but I'm back better than ever. I think that so many of these, like, if you see a husband too much on the show, they want to be there. They're asking to be
Yeah.
there.
Oh, he's Slade part two for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Like, and it's so unsuspecting of him because he seems like he's this quiet guy who kind of keeps to himself. But ultimately, I think that he wants the attention.
Yeah.
But I think two things could be true. Like you look at Slade, like Gretchen and Slade. I mean, that's real. I mean,
That
it's
is true.
love. I just think I agree with you, Ace, but I'm not so sure that this, but I mean, God, if this doesn't work, I mean, Alexis is going to be like, I mean, she's gone out and said to my forever man, we're forever, here's forever. I mean, like, girl, that's a strong word to
When she says
use.
that, he smiles and kind of agrees.
I love too that she was like, I am not going back on the show. And then it was like a week later, it was like announced Alexis is coming back. I love that. I
Is
love a
she
flip
full
flop like
time
that.
or is she a
I don't
friend?
think she's full time. I
Friend,
think she's just a friend of, but
friend.
Okay.
to say you're not coming back and then all of a sudden you're with all these ladies filming. I mean, talk about having zero respect for yourself. And I have zero respect for myself. I would do the same thing.
Take the money. I agree with
Money
all
and
of
run.
it. It's just when they take it to bed, like Teresa and Melissa, and like when you take it to bed and you're on social media 24/7 with such hate, it's like, why? That's not the job. Like, if it was me, I'd be like, you say anything. I don't care. I don't care what people say about me now. People say shit all the time. I'm like, I don't care. It's like, that's not the job. The job is this. We're doing it on air. We're leaving it all on air. If I were a housewife, just do the angst on TV and then it's hard, but let everyone say everything. Why do you care?
And I think
Yeah.
that's what happened with Potomac. I think Potomac used to be so good about just they would get in these awful fights. They'd say horrible things about each other. And then we just like quickly move on, kind of like how Atlanta does. Atlanta does such a good job of saying the absolute worst things to each other. And then
They
the
don't
next day,
care.
fine. And I feel like with Potomac this season, we didn't get that. And that's why we struggled through because it's like, you got to fucking move on. At the end of the day, your coworkers, even if you're not friends, your job is to bring us a good show. So move on. No one cares about your feelings.
And now look, like it's kind of like, don't you want to go back? I mean, I do believe Candace left on her own, but Robin's gone. There'll be other cuts, maybe. Like when all is said and done, aren't you now upset that you all ruined your show? At the reunion, I think the only one that got it up there was Karen Huger. I think she sat there and saw her six-figure check slipping away and was trying to get everyone back on track. But like, It's like, how does anyone win? Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wish Dr. Wendy was gone. I gotta say it. I
Is she
mean,
gone?
Bye.
I
Yeah,
hope so. She's exhausting.
She was
Exhausting.
exhausting. She was always, yeah. I don't know what causes a housewife to be fired, because the people who have been fired, for me, just doesn't make sense. Like for me, Crystal, that was a surprise. That wasn't a surprise to you, you know? And so who would leave in Miami? I have no idea, but I think the standards in Miami are completely different. Like I know certain like producers who have been offered a shot at this. We're talking like the big ones. We won't say his name, but you know who I'm talking about, David. Has said, fuck that. No way. I'm not touching that.
I'll say his name.
No, do not, because I don't know. Again, this was just, I heard from a friend.
Whoops. I didn't say it, but can I just ask you one question? Have you heard, I mean, you talk to certain people that have been on the show, certain people that are on the show now. Have you heard from any of your RHOM friends about Alexia's divorce, and what have they said? And who have you heard from?
Of course. I mean, when it came out, it was like Joanna just like the rolling eyes. She doesn't care. She's like, karma's a bitch kind of thing, you know, like whatever. Don't quote me, but there was just people sent it to me. Let's put it that way.
Well, I mean, is this mic on? I think you were just quoted.
Oh, I know, but I don't know that that's exactly what she said. It was something like, "Oh, did you see this?" Like whatever kind of thing. Like,
anyone else?
No, I mean, I know that they want Leah back. Like I know that, because it's very clear the fans want Leah back.
But you can't say that we need a younger show and then bring Leah Black.
Well,
back,
because Leah is, I think that even if you have a bunch of young girls, Leah knows she's older. Leah doesn't try to be, you know, kind of like we're peers. I am the older person. I am the wise person. And it's good to have that. Leah plays that role really well. And
but then she becomes a peacemaker, which then we start fighting. And it's like, if we're not fighting, then what are we doing? Getting along? I'm not interested.
But there's always going to be fighting, especially, you know, but Leah, I don't believe, this is my opinion, that Leah would come back if Alexia and Marysol were there. I don't believe she would ever come back with them there. I think they'd need to get rid of them for Leah to come back. And, but I think it would be smart to bring Leah back, especially with all the young girls going through all that stuff. Everybody wants, I mean, I like Leah's advice. I hate the years that I spent away not being friends with Leah, because Leah gives some really good advice. I talk to her, you know, all the time and ask her advice on a bunch of things. She's a very wise woman, and, you know, and I take everything back I said at that reunion. I've said it before. She didn't do her best work on her back. She didn't whatever. She has been working hard for a long, long time before she met Roy, and she has continued to build an empire